This week, we will be doing OET speaking again. And I'm straight away coming to the topic. This is the role play.
Yes.
It's a different setting we have not done before. So if you look at the setting is hospital rehabilitation unit, isn't it?
Okay.
So before moving, I know all of you all know this, but I'll just give you one or two lines what this exactly is. Hospital rehabilitation unit are mostly located within the hospital. And what exactly do they do? They are devoted to rehabilitation of patients with medical conditions like neurological, orthopedic, and other medical conditions. And once their condition is stabilized after acute medical issues, they are this unit. Is that clear?
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So can I have someone to read it for me? The background nurse.
Your patient is a 75 years old woman who has been admitted to the ward following a stroke. Her speech and memory are impaired and she has limited mobility. You have just completed clinical observations. Her son or daughter asks you for advice about his visits. His mother is not present.
Okay, thank you. So now I'm just going to read it for you. Your patient is a 75-year-old woman who has been admitted to the ward, which means she's already in the hospital for quite some time, following a stroke, which means she's recovering from a stroke. Her speech, now her assessment is given. Her speech and memory are impaired, and she has limited mobility. So, which means she has problems with her speech, memory, and mobility, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, last two lines are very crucial. You have just completed clinical observations, which means you have just completed the assessment of this patient. And whom are you speaking to? Her son. Her refers to the patient. The patient's son or daughter. See, when it comes like this, there's a danger that sometimes you might change the gender. So to make sure that you don't make that mistake, you have to decide on something. Either decide as a son. If you decide as a son, strike out the daughter part so that you can stick on to one. Otherwise, there's a chance of confusion. So her son, or we can keep it as daughter, okay? Her daughter asks you for advice about her visits. Her mother is not present.
Yes.
So, exactly what is this daughter asking for regarding her visit to this hospital? When can she visit? And all the other details regarding the visit because she's planning to see her mother. And in this conversation, her mother is not present. But we know here we are dealing with the patient. So, especially in the introduction, when you need to introduce, do you think it is a known case or an unknown case?
Known case.
Known
It is a
case.
known case, isn't it? So, here, since now it's the patient and the daughter is also in the picture, I would say it is good to ask the name of the patient. Otherwise, there can be a chance of confusion. Okay. So after reading the background, how do you, since it's a known case, what do you do? After reading the role play, during the preparation time, you can ask, how can I address the patient during the role play? Isn't it?
Yes.
Then the examiner will say one name, say Anu. Then please note it down because you should not mix it up with any other name. And then let's read the task.
Find out reason for request to see you.
This person who's in charge of the rehabilitation unit knows that this daughter is waiting to see her, and she's asking, why have you requested to see me? So how do you frame it? Find out reason for request to see you. So as I told you, during the preparation time, we ask, how can I address the patient during the role play? And then, for example, if the examiner says, Anu, how do you begin the role play? You have to introduce yourself. Good afternoon. I'm Deepa, in charge of inpatient rehabilitation ward. Inpatient, which is meaning in the hospital. Good afternoon. I'm Deepa, in charge of inpatient rehabilitation ward. Or you can straight away say, in charge of this hospital rehabilitation ward. Then, to confirm that it is the patient's daughter, how do you ask? Am I talking to Miss Anu's daughter? Am I talking to Miss Anu's daughter? Is so much clear with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. See, this is how you need to begin the dialogue when there are two people, one the patient and also the carer. This is how you need to. This is how you need to attend, okay? Then how do you begin? How do you ask the first task? Well, can I know the reason why you have requested to see me? Or can I know why you have requested to see me? That is how you begin. Okay? Then my answer will be, yeah, I just saw that you have checked on my mother. Meaning, I just saw that you have just completed the assessment of my mother. And now I would like to know how my mother is doing. So, what is your answer? Can you read the next task for me?
Give information about patient's condition, first stage of recovery, vital signs, satisfactory, memory, bar speech capabilities, no change, mobility, slight improvement, etc. Find out son or daughter's opinion of mother's condition.
So I have said that. So I want to know how my mother is doing. That is my doubt, isn't it? That's my concern. So how do you say? Give information about patient's condition. How do you explain that she's in the first stage of recovery? Vital signs are satisfactory. And regarding her memory and speech capabilities, there is no change. Mobility, slight improvement, etc. And we also have another task, find out the daughter's opinion of the mother's condition. So how do you build up in sentence? See, where did we end? The dialogue, yeah, the examiner says that, yeah, I want to know how my mother is doing, isn't it? So how do you say? Well, I have just completed her assessment. Well, I've just completed your mother's assessment. Then regarding her condition, I am happy to say that she is in the first stage of recovery as her vital signs are satisfactory. However, her memory and speech are still impaired. So far, there has been no change. Then you come to the mobility. Regarding her mobility, she has shown slight improvement. See, we are dealing each of them differently. The first one says her vital signs are satisfactory. Then we go to something contrast. Regarding memory and speech, there is no change. So that is why we use however in the I'll explain from once again. Yes, I have just completed her assessment. Regarding your mother's condition, since we are going to talk something positive, you can say, I am happy to say that she is in the first stage of recovery as her vital signs are satisfactory. However, her memory and speech are still impaired. So far, there has been no change. Regarding her mobility, she has shown slight improvement. Then let's see how we develop this. Find out son, daughter's opinion of the mother's condition. How do you say that? Well, what is your opinion about your mother's condition? Do you think there has been any progress? What is your opinion regarding your mother's condition? Do you think there has been any progress, or do you think she's progressing? Then my answer is, yeah, she seemed okay when I last saw her. I'm glad to hear she's a little better. But then you say, I'm planning to visit my mother every day. But I want to make sure that I don't tire her out. That is my answer, okay? So can you read the task, third task?
Confirm benefit of regular contact with family. Example, lifting mood, energizing patient, passing time, establishing routine, etc. Remind daughter of visiting regulations, maximum 2 visitors, note during mealtime and treatment time, etc. Make recommendation about visits, short duration, watch for sign of tiredness, no need for constant conversation, etc.
Okay. So I end the dialogue by saying that, see, in Malayalam, I'm just going to say, എനിക്ക് ആഗ്രഹമുണ്ട് എൻ്റെ അമ്മനെ കാണാൻ, പക്ഷെ എനിക്ക് അമ്മേനെ tired ആക്കാൻ ഇഷ്ടമില്ല. See, because I plan to see my mother every day, but I don't want to make her tired. So what is my answer for that? Confirm benefits of regular contact with family. You're saying, yeah, that's a very good idea, because that will help her to lift her mood, energize her, the patient, and it also helps her to pass her time. And it also helps to establish a routine, because, right now she's totally disoriented. So it helps her to build up a routine. Then along with that, you have to ask, remind son or remind daughter of visiting regulation. Here you're saying that this hospital follows certain rules, and they can only be a maximum of 2 visitors, and kindly don't come during meal time and treatment period. So this is quite long task, isn't it? So after this, you can break up. Break up meaning you can give a break, saying, one liners like, are you getting me? Are you following me? So that there is also a dialogue from, there's also a response from the examiner. And then continue with the next, the same task, make recommendations about visit. You can say, in this hospital, when you visit your mother, please make sure that it's only for a short duration, meaning small time, small period. And when you visit your mother, please watch out or look out for signs of tiredness, meaning you have to watch whether she's getting tired, and no need for constant conversation. So when you come to visit your mother, don't engage her in long conversation, because that will make her tired. Did you get the meaning of this?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'll just help in sentence. Confirm benefits of regular contact with family. Here you can use a little bit of information. We've read in the setting part, the background part, that she is recovering from a stroke, isn't it? So you can use that. You can start probably like this. As your mother is recovering from a stroke, then you use this. What is in the task? Regular contact with family members play an important role. Then use the bulletin points in lifting her mood, boosting her energy, energizing patient. You can also say boosting her energy and passing her time. I'll repeat it once again. You can say, oh, that's really good. As your mother is recovering from a stroke, regular contact with family members play an important role in lifting her mood, boosting her energy, and passing her time. Besides, it also helps her to establish a routine. Besides, ഇതിന് പുറമെ, it also helps her to establish a routine. Then you're going to remind her, okay? But let me remind you of the visiting regulations in this hospital. But let me remind you of the visiting regulations in this hospital. See, I'm trying to maximum use the task and then build it up in my own words. That is a good strategy, because you don't make a mistake. But let me remind you of the visiting regulations in this hospital. How do you begin? We encourage only a maximum of 2 visitors at a time. ഒരേ സമയത്ത് 2 പേരെ ഞങ്ങൾ പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കാറുള്ളൂ. We encourage only a maximum of 2 visitors at a time, and they are strictly prohibited from visiting. They are strictly prohibited and they are strictly prohibited from visiting when? During meal time and during the treatment. We encourage only a maximum of 2 visitors at a time, and they are strictly prohibited from visiting during meal time and during the treatment. Okay, then my response is yes, definitely I'll try to be aware when my mother looks tired. Then I'll say, when I saw her yesterday, I actually felt helpless because I was not sure what I could do for her. മലയാളത്തിൽ ഒന്ന് പറഞ്ഞോട്ടെ. Then the patient, the daughter will say, ഞാൻ തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും അമ്മ ക്ഷീണതയാവുന്നുണ്ടോന്ന് ഞാൻ ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചോളാം. പക്ഷെ ഇന്നലെ ഞാൻ വന്ന് എൻ്റെ അമ്മയെ കണ്ടപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് ഒത്തിരി ഹെൽപ്ലെസ് ആയിട്ട് തോന്നി. കാരണം എനിക്കറിയത്തില്ല ഞാൻ എന്താണ് ഇനി അമ്മയ്ക്ക് വേണ്ടി ചെയ്യേണ്ടതെന്ന്. I don't know how I can help her. Clear?
Yes,
So, yeah, so please read the next class.
Give advice and ways to for son, daughter to help. For example, do mobility exercises together, bring personal items to prompt memories, give encouragement, etc.
Yeah. So here they say, see, because I'm saying, the daughter is saying, I don't know, I felt really helpless. Yesterday, I didn't know how to help her. So this nurse is giving ways for daughter to help. Here the patient is how can help the mother. One is doing mobility exercises together, then bring her personal items. See, here you can use some examples. Please don't read the same thing and walk away. To bring it, to make it really live, you have to quote some examples. Good. Here, when you say bring some personal items, what can you quote? You can quote, for example, photographs, clothes, to prompt meaning to help her bring back her memories. On ഓർത്തെടുക്കാൻ. And then also giving encouragement is also equally important. Okay, just see how I build it up. See, I think I missed one task. Make recommendations. Sorry, I'm just going to the task just above. Make recommendations about visit. Short duration. Watch for signs of tiredness. No need for constant conversation. I think I didn't say that, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I'll say that. Then you can say, during visits, നിങ്ങൾ വിസിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, during visits, see, I'm using plural, okay? During visits, please make sure that it's for a short duration and watch out for signs of tiredness. You can just read it. I would also advise not to engage in constant conversation. I would also advise not to engage in constant conversation. Why? As it can make the patient tired. During visits, നിങ്ങൾ വിസിറ്റ് ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ, please make sure that it is for a short duration and watch out for signs of tiredness. I would also advise not to engage in constant conversations as it can make the patient very tired. Okay.
Ma'am, constant meaning continuous, no?
Yeah, continue. Don't make her talk too much. That is exactly what they mean there. Don't engage. That is what I meant by don't engage in constant conversation. Then I say, yeah, definitely I'll be aware when my mother seems tired. But yesterday when I saw her, I thought she was helpless. So what can I do for her? Now, this is the task you're reading. give advice on ways for daughter to help the patient. How do you say that? You can say, don't worry regarding that. Give them a reassurance. Don't worry regarding that. I shall recommend some ways to help your mother. See how I build it up. Give advice on ways for doctor to help patient. I shall recommend some ways to help your mother. Then we are starting with the bulletin points, okay? You can say, you could join her. You could join her in doing mobility exercises. Join her and together is the same meaning. So you can either use one. You could join her in doing mobility exercises. Then next one, make it very casual, okay? നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു പക്ഷേ വേണമെങ്കിൽ ഫോട്ടോഗ്രാഫ്സോ പിക്ചേഴ്സോ എന്തെങ്കിലും കൊണ്ടുവരാം കാരണം പഴയ ഓർമ്മയൊക്കെ ഒന്ന് പുതുക്കാൻ. So to make it very casual and very natural, how do you say? You could probably bring. നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരു പക്ഷേ കൊണ്ടുവരാം. You could probably bring some personal items as clothes or photographs that will help to prompt her memories. I'll repeat once again. You could probably bring some personal items as clothes or photographs that will help to prompt her memories. Then give encouragement. How do I say? ഇതിനേക്കാൾ എല്ലാം ഉപരിയായി. Above all, you need to give her. കൊടുക്കേണ്ടതാണ്, നൽകേണ്ടതാണ്. You need to give her a lot of emotional support and encouragement. Above all, you need to give her a lot of emotional support and encouragement. Am I clear? Am I clear? You can ask like that. Then my answer is, okay. Can I ask you one question? Can I take my mother outside when I visit? So get some fresh air. ഞാൻ അടുത്ത പ്രാവശ്യം വരുമ്പോ എന്നെ അമ്മേനെ ഒന്ന് പുറത്തൊക്കെ കൊണ്ടുപോയിക്കോട്ടെ, കുറച്ച് നല്ല വായൊക്കെ കിട്ടാലോ. So what is the nurse advice for this? Read it. Read it. I would say you can kindly mute, okay? I hear the child's noise. Okay. Can one of you read the task for me?
Advice against patient living abroad at present. Example, regular monitoring required by nursing staff, need for improvement in patient strength, orientation, mobility, etc.
Okay. Then the nurse says, advice against patient leaving ward. Advice against, you don't agree with the doctor's opinion that, you're not allowing this patient, you don't want the patient to go out. That is why what is meant by advice against patient leaving ward at present. What do you mean by present? At present meaning considering her present medical condition, it is not advisable that the patient leaves the ward. Is it clear with everyone?
Yes.
Why? Because at this point, rather, according to her current condition, she requires regular monitoring by the nursing staff, and she also requires adequate rest because she needs improvement in her strength, orientation, and mobility. Clear? So let me say. So how do you end the dialogue? The daughter says, yeah, can I take my mother outside when I come for my visit next? So since the task says advice against, how do you say? Well, I'm sorry. Well, I'm sorry. I would not encourage your mother leaving the ward at present. ഞാൻ ഒട്ടും പ്രോത്സാഹിപ്പിക്കത്തില്ല നിങ്ങളുടെ അമ്മേനെ ഇപ്പൊ ഈ സമയത്ത് പുറത്തു കൊണ്ടുപോകാൻ. I would not encourage your mother leaving the ward at present Then let's build up the bulletin points. Considering her current situation പരിഗണിച്ച്, considering her current situation, comma, she requires regular monitoring by nursing staff. There need to be improvement in her strength. There need to be improvement, meaning improvement ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ടതാണ് in her strength, orientation, and mobility. Then you can use a background sentence. As you know, she has memory and mobility issues. Clear? I'll just repeat the last point. Moreover, there need to be improvement in her strength, orientation, and mobility. കാര്യം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് അറിയാലോ, അമ്മയ്ക്ക് മെമ്മറി പ്രോബ്ലംസും മൊബിലിറ്റി ഇഷ്യൂസ് ഒക്കെ ഉള്ളതുകൊണ്ട്. As you know, she has memory and mobility issues. Are you getting me? Is so much clear? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Then my answer is definitely I will follow your advice about the visit. Then just watch out. Then I'm saying, I hope my mother will soon be well enough to leave the ward. എൻ്റെ അമ്മയ്ക്ക് വേഗം സുഖമായിട്ട് ആ വാർഡിൽ നിന്ന് പോകാൻ പറ്റിയാൽ മതിയായിരുന്നു. So how do you respond? You can say, definitely, let's hope for the best. Students, in your task, you don't have to do this. പ്രത്യേകിച്ച് നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ആൻസർ ഒന്നും ഇവിടെ എഴുതി തന്നിട്ടില്ല. എന്നാലും when the patient asks you in such a way, tells her concerns in such a way, you have to give them a positive stroke, saying, തീർച്ചയായിട്ടും നമുക്ക് അത് തന്നെ പ്രതീക്ഷിക്കാം. Definitely, let's hope for the best. Is that clear? Then it's your duty to wind up beautifully. How do you wind up? You can say, is there any other concern? Then I will say, the examiner will say, no, you have given me a good explanation. Okay, thank you. Then you end the conversation. Clear? So can we have a replay of that? I want everyone in this let's not make a big gap in between, okay? Can we begin? So during the preparation time, since it's a known case, how do you ask me? Start.
How can I assist the patient during the role play?
Anu.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Good.
I am Veena, one of the registered nurses working in this rehabilitation unit.
Okay.
Am I talking to Anu's daughter?
Yes. Can the next person change?
Well, can
I know the reason for your request to see me?
Once again, more clearer.
Can I know the reason for requested to see me?
No, why you have requested to see me? Can I know your request to see me? Anyone? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw that you have just checked on my mother and I want to know how she's doing. Continue.
well, I have just completed your mom's assessment. And regarding her condition, I'm glad to say that she is in her first stage of recovery, as her vital signs are satisfactory. However, her memory and speech are still impaired, and so far there has been no changes. Regarding her mobility issues, there is no improvement. Let me ask here, what do you think about your mother's progress?
Regarding her mobility, what did you say?
There is no improvement.
No, slight improvement.
Regarding her mother, there is slight improvement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about your mother's progress?
Well, she seemed quite okay when I saw her, but I'm glad to hear that she's getting a little better. And I planned to visit my mother every day, but at the same time, I want to make sure that I don't tire her out. So, how do I go about?
As your mother is recovering from a stroke, regular contact with family member play an important role in lifting mood, boosting her energy, and passing her time. Besides, it also helps her to establish routine. Are you getting me?
Okay, continue, Veena.
Let, let me remind you of the visiting regulation of the hospital. We encourage
Mhm.
only a maximum 2 visitors at the time, and they are
At a
strict
time,
at the time, and there are
at
strict
a time, ഒരേ സമയത്ത്.
okay at a time, and they are strictly prohibited from visiting during meal time and during the treatment time. Are you able to follow me?
Mm-hmm. Can next person take over?
During visits,
During visitings, please make sure that it is for a short duration and watch out of any sign of tiredness.
Watch out
I would also
for.
advise
Wait. Watch out for. Look out for.
watch out for signs of tiredness. I would also advise not to engage in conversation as it is can make patient tired.
No. It's not clear. I would also encourage not to engage in constant, നിരന്തരമായ സംഭാഷണം, constant conversation,
Okay.
as it
I
can
would also
make her.
advise to not to engage in constant conversation as it can make it patient tired.
Okay. Oh, well, I'll be aware when my mother seems tired. ഞാനത് ശ്രദ്ധിച്ചോളാം. But yesterday, when I saw her, I felt helpless because I was not sure what I could do for her.
Don't worry. Regarding that, I shall recommend some way to build up. You could join her doing mobility exercise. You could probably bring some personal items as cloth, photograph. That will help you to prompt her memory.
Mhm.
Above
The next
all,
one.
you need to give her a lot of emotional support and encouragement. Am I clear?
Okay. Well, now can I know something? Will I be able to take my mother outside when I visit her so that she can get some fresh air? What do you say about that?
well, I'm sorry, I would not encourage your mother leaving the ward at present. Considering her situation, she requires regular monitoring by the nursing staff. As there and she needs to be as there needs to be improvement in her strength, orientation, and mobility. As you know that she has memory and mobility issues. Are you getting me?
Okay. Definitely, I'll follow your advice about visits. And I really hope my mother will be well enough to leave the ward.
Definitely. Let's hope for the best.
Okay. Wind up.
Is there any other concern?
No, thank you. You've given me a very good explanation. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So is that clear with everyone? Thank you. Bye-bye.